Welcome back to the LCS, everybody. We're gearing up for game 2 of the day. It's TSM versus FlyQuest, and it feels like fortunes may have reversed from what the last split looked like. TSM are looking great. It seems like they found a jungler they really enjoy, and FlyQuest need to step back up to the spring split form.
I mean, for sure, yesterday they enjoyed the jungle performance. Spica was smurfing on Lee Sin. He had insect plays. He almost had 100% kill participation. He completely destroyed that game. And as good as he was, I also want to give props to Biofrost, who made a lot of the plays with him, invading for a lot of the vision. But of course, there's so much pressure in the TSM jungle position that, Spica having an insane game like that is really promising for TSM fans, and I know that's something that they've looked for a long time.
And meanwhile, of course, on the other side, though, we don't want to call FlyQuest slouches. They are a solid team. We know PoE is still an absolutely incredible talent, and look, he tends to have Bjergsen's number, all right? That one-on-one is PoE sided.
Barely.
Hey, it counts, all right? If the number is greater than the other number, that number is greater. That is some quick maths.
Well, what you're referring to is the all-time record, PowerOfEvil versus Bjergsen, 13-12 over the length of their careers. So PowerOfEvil currently is the one game ahead of Bjergsen in the head-to-head, and both these players are very big carries for their team. Obviously, yesterday we got to look at the tank Fiddlesticks that had been taking over solo queue from Bjergsen, spamming it so much with Aftershock, Spiritfish's Frozen Heart. But PowerOfEvil is the highest damage per minute player that we had all split last split and for several splits in the LCS. So I don't think that he'll be stealing the tank Fiddlesticks and looking for more of the DPS output there. Both of them definitely big parts of their team's respective win conditions, though.
Yeah, what's interesting is this split so far, tank Fiddlesticks notwithstanding, Bjergsen actually is leading the damage percentage chart between the two of them. He's a full third of his team's damage so far. Bjergsen has been having a very good split. Again, aside from game 1, I'm a big fan of Spica. Doublelift feels like he's getting back into form as well. And the rest of TSM, I feel like, have been fairly consistent to their spring split form, which is pretty solid in the case of Broken Blade and Biofrost. So TSM is looking pretty exciting. Their only loss is to the undefeated team Liquid, and that was in the opening game, right? Or maybe nerves were a little bit too much for a couple of people, and we can give them a pass and we can keep watching them. For the FlyQuest side, I mean, their only loss is the defending champions Cloud9. FlyQuest can easily start running the table here. I want to see how much they can do. The big question mark is that MASH is in for this game, and that is a head scratcher for a lot of people. We'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, personally, I think that, Turtle had been starting to play a lot better, and we'll see what MASH can bring to the table. Crumbs talked about it on the analyst desk, just last night. We saw MASH. He was playing the Senna, the 80 carry Senna, and they did lose in Academy. But they've been kind of switching time, and both of them vying for that position. So we shall see what it turns into this game. Red side, of course, FlyQuest. You got to ban out some of the highest priority carries. Varus and Kalista are the two most banned of that S tier. Then, of course, it falls down, to the Ezreal and Aphelios. But on the side of TSM, a lot of focus on support picks here, trying to ban away some of those big laning supports there. Yuumi, of course, with this spam healing. Nobody ever wants to play against that. And Bard playmaking.
Yeah, might get some nerfs in the next patch there onto Yuumi, so might see that one drop off the ban table for now. But yeah, it's specifically a range support drop and a range jungler drop. Easy early pick onto Syndra. This is still an incredibly highly prized champion. Expecting it to stay in mid lane for Bjergsen, but a very, very good pick.
Yeah, one of the big things people always talk about with that champ, of course, is, so flexible. You can play a bottom lane. One of the big things, you can rotate it. But this is TSM, and this is Bjergsen. So yeah, 100% expected to go into his hands. It is his most played champion in 2020. He is undefeated on it still, 5 wins on the Syndra. Also has a crazy all-time record, so we'll expect him to keep his hands on it. Meanwhile, FlyQuest, you saw that instant lock-in freak. Oh yeah, it's what I talked about in the Team Liquid week 1 draft analysis. That was their game plan. Is you get such a good scaling package of Trundle shreds the enemy front line, gives you a front line, and Aphelios, one of the best scaling carries you can possibly have.
And look, more front line. I also want to take a step back really quickly and talk about the Syndra flex. Like, people talk about Syndra flex, but almost no one actually flexes Syndra. Like, technically, Lulu can be a jungler if you watch the Champion Spotlight, but like, you know, at a certain point, like, Syndra's a mid laner, and then like, oh, I played her bot lane is the interesting switch up. You know, at a certain point when it's like 99-1 in a certain role, it's just a mid laner. That's kind of my read on it, because we see so little Syndra bot lane that it's not even like a, well, but this is Bjergsen and Doublelift, you know, like, I want to get that out there because I feel like people almost tunnel on that a little bit more than they maybe need to.
And it also depends a lot on your bottom lane player, of course.
Yeah,
some of them
certainly
have a tendency more too. But once again, Bjergsen's all-time record as it stands, 68.5% win rate on Syndra, as by far his most played 73 games in his career. So more bans coming through though. Obviously trying to ban out the support role here from TSM. They lock in the engage for Biofrost. Nautilus, and Spica gets to run it back on Lee Sin. No surprise after the performance yesterday. Yeah,
I want to see if he can keep this kind of thing going, because I'm a big fan of how he's doing so far this split. Also a big fan of Santorin. I really liked his spring split performances on the whole, so let's see if he can get another good one out here today against TSM. This feels like a really tight battle between some of the really top teams. It's going to take a while to figure out exactly how every team has shaken up. Obviously, there's 3 undefeated teams right now who all look really scary, but the big thing is, you know, who's also up in that tier, up in that top tier, and FlyQuest and TSM are 2 of the names that honestly should be in the hat that you should be able to draw from, and I want to know which one is going to find their second loss today, because I think they're both deserving of positive win rates overall in the LCS. Cassiopeia goes away from PowerOfEvil after the Syndra was taken away as well. There's still a Corki left up who wants to play that one again and put on game number 2 there on a backline carry.
And you notice the LeBlanc ban, Freak. So FlyQuest definitely respecting the Syndra flex possibility down to Doublelift, and don't want to get surprised with a PowerOfEvil LeBlanc pick in the end, and they will save their last pick for PowerOfEvil. Makes a lot of sense. You know, the main carry of the team, especially since Mash is being subbed in, and they've drafted a triple frontline. It has great engage, lots of crowd control, ability to shred the enemy front line. However, puts a lot of pressure on Mash, who's being subbed in, along with PowerOfEvil, to be the 2-carry team and play safely.
100% presence on Volibear today. Overreactions from the analysts saying that NA was going to be behind the times and not play the champion enough.
Yeah, what do they know?
And what do they know? Nothing. That's right. Kobe is the big brain. He had the wrinkles. He knew NA was actually on the Volibear train already, and he was right about this one. And TSM hovering solo lanes, saying, yeah, but Double's really playing Syndra bot lane, guys. Really, it's totally happening. Here comes the hover, and he is
big surprise.
Syndra bot lane. You know what? I spent all this time talking about how it's overrated. They're not really flexing it very much, and Tank Fiddle comes back.
Tell me more, Freak. I think, it is pretty funny though. Obviously, this is probably going to be the Tank Fiddle again. Bjergsen has been spamming it in solo queue. I talked about it yesterday, but you go Aftershock, you build tanky early on. Your drain has no limit on the targets for the W, so you can easily shove the wave over and over and have a bunch of sustain. And then Bjergsen can look to both side lanes to try and make plays with the ultimate. Again, like I highlighted in the last game, vision is your #1 priority when you're playing this champion. Fiddlesticks now has another passive on the Q, where if you're out of vision, out of combat for 2.5 seconds, you get extra fears with whatever damaging ability, and then you can still use your targeted fear, the Q, on someone else.
Yeah, you can either nuke the guy who's been feared, or you actually see someone who hasn't been feared up just yet, and just kind of ensure that you've got coverage over everything that was going on right into this one. So physical damage is really coming out of Spica and Broken Blade here into this one. Volibear versus Ornn. If they're taking a long trade, Volibear is going to heal back to full HP forever. And so that's going to be, not a sort of drain fight that the Ornn's going to want. So we'll see how that one plays out over time. Still going to be a very exciting matchup between these teams because, certainly FlyQuest got to see what was going on, right? They got to watch the game from yesterday. They knew it was available in the draft. They knew Tank Fiddle was going to be a possibility. And they were red side. They said, okay, as long as we are comfortable in what picks are left available, and Azir is the one here, they're going to wait and see what happens, and then try to go for the re-engage.
And it is popular in solo queue. Like I said, I've seen Niski playing it as in addition to Bjergsen, so multiple people are getting some time in on this champ. As for the Volibear, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think we're going to see another of the Conqueror Volibears. You can go press the attack for more burst damage, but if you're fighting an Ornn, you probably want more sustain. Ooh, looks like we get a little preview. It's the Grasp for Volibear, so Broken Blade going to get a bit more tanky when going for those trades, storing up that extra HP.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to allow him to play short trades, as you're kind of mentioning, right? Just one hit, then back out, because Ornn might not let him hit for a very long time, and might see how that one plays out. Mash taking some early poke. Aphelios, by the way, has incredibly low magic resist, and so is uniquely very weak to Syndra in the one-on-one. Of course, Leona does not have damage blocking, right? Can't shield a teammate, can't block like a Braum shield, so at 6, Doublelift can get a lot of damage onto the Aphelios there. This should be a safe recall at this point. Doublelift will take a turret shot if he goes for the Q. Mash will be back in lane in time. If he needs to leash to blue buff, he can do that as well.
Yeah, let's see about the solos. Fairly deep ward here. Gonna see probably this blue start. Nobody from TSM was around to see him place that ward.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that can definitely matter here, as Solo's gonna be slowed. Broken Blade not gonna get the slap, but hey, health bar lead up. That's a control 3, control 3, control 3, dance spam available to you right there.
Got to take those opportunities.
Yep.
All right,
I mean, it's important.
Yeah, Bjergsen once again, like we saw yesterday as well, you just get out to the minion wave, you spam your W. It's very important to finish the channel on that because you get 60% of the cooldown refunded as long as you finish it or kill off stuff, and you also have a big burst of damage at the end.
Yep. And you saw he just sort of walks into melee range and says, look, I don't even care if you auto me. I'm going to heal off the minions anyway. You're not going to do anything meaningful. Who cares about this one? And chunks that one down. Very, very short trade on the bot side. Puts Aftershock on cooldown. IgNar yet to actually grab any of these CS. We'll wait for the second wave. The big thing is getting all 3 melees first on the second wave. That gets you level 2 first. Lets you all in. There's chunk 1. There's chunk 2. It's going to require Aphelios autos, but in a second, he's going to have the jump. And you can see how far Doublelift and Bao had to run to respect what the re-engage would have looked like.
And you also see, who gets the duty of killing off the minions and stuff, right? IgNar trying to press up, letting Mash tag the last one because IgNar's the one that's going to need to pull off the initiation there. They both try and get into range for the timing. But everybody well aware of the level 2 power spike. It's been talked about for years.
I know, and yet it still catches people off guard. Trust me, I still play League of Legends, and a lot of the solo queue supports don't understand what level 2 Leona does and when it comes out.
Fair enough.
I'm not Diamond 2 like you, so the players are less smart, me included.
I also feel, speaking of solo queue, I highly recommend solo lane, tank Fiddlesticks if you get auto-filled to mid lane, because it does remove some of the mechanics you normally have to pull off in mid lane, and your objective is a lot clearer with this champion. Especially for me, just coming as a jungler, you can play a jungle champion. Great. Santorin, though, on your screen, of course, taking the opportunity to counter jungle. While we've got a top scuttle being taken by Spica. It's very important to secure vision and safety for Volibear on the top side of the map so that Broken Blade can play aggressively in this matchup. It's one of the things you want to take advantage of from your champ select, where you're able to get that advantage.
Looks like both junglers able to take Scuttle as well as steal away most of the opposing Raptor camp. Spica gonna get one more small chicken compared to what Santorin stole away, but now an attempt towards the bottom side. No easy escape tools for either the TSM bot laner. There's the stun and a Biofrost. Gets the Aftershock on. The flash in. There's the pillar after the flash. That's gonna guarantee the kill, and first blood is on the board for Santorin.
Very efficient gank, too. He didn't waste any time sitting in that tri-brush. IgNar immediately gets you all in onto Biofrost. Now, Doublelift threw a sphere at Mash and then tried to stun. I think I might need to see the replay to see if he actually got the stun on his Scatter of the Week, though. It looked like only the slow. And that would pause some of the damage, delay some of the follow-up from Mash. Here's another look at it. Right out of the brush. He does get, Mash is able to keep autoing. They really good job there from IgNar right out of the brush. Surprise combo onto Bio, though.
Santorin had the emote stacked up, the first blood passive emote already there. It's Good job by him, as we have a small lead to FlyQuest now off the early game. You can see a gigantic farm lead, though, to Broken Blade. Top lane does not look fun for Solo's Ornn right now. Doesn't seem like a very great matchup. Obviously, Broken Blade opted into it once he saw the Ornn. I'm glad to see him do it. Broken Blade definitely can be an outstanding laner and one of those players that can take over a game from the top side.
All right, right back out on the map. Spica and Biofrost trying to work together to invade and get some vision. They've walked over a lot of wards that were previously placed by FlyQuest, though, so Santorin won't be caught off guard and should know to sweep as he's walking through his own jungle.
Walking down the river right now in a pair, and we'll see if Santorin's going to be around to stop them in time. No vision, I believe, in this brush, but FlyQuest know to be afraid down here. IgNar says hello, sees, oh, that is a hook onto Mash, but he's not ready for the rest of it. The wall just in the right spot, and by the way, Santorin right behind him. Second stun comes out. Look at the counter gank. It's beautiful. Mash on a double kill.
I think, you know, the trailing information of the FlyQuest wards that Spica and Bao entered on to go on this long path towards bottom side, giving FlyQuest enough time to set up a reaction here. And now 2 kills onto Mash with the counter gank here for FlyQuest. Plus, Santorin gets to just beat down this dragon with nobody intervening. Huge start now for FlyQuest.
Yeah. The Lux double thumbs up, by the way, from Santorin as the workers over the wall. He's like, yeah, I'm on Drake. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. It's what I thought. Here comes the dive topside, though. They're gonna turn the turret off. There's the Crow Storm over there as well. Solo down to 400 HP, drained, and the chunk comes through. Bjergsen, not a problem, but he's slowed. He's gonna get out of range. He'll stay alive. The chunk comes down. The turret plate's gonna fall. Great dive to the top side. That's the second time I've seen Bjergsen show up and get Broken Blade a kill up there.
Yep, he can't go bottom because bottom just got turned around on them, so takes the opportunity to still look for a proactive play. Here's another look at Santorin coming down over with the Blast Cone, though. As soon as they see Biofrost, Santorin's already in position. They know he's here. Red Smite, they just annihilate him there with the Aphelios. And then really nice pillar as well from Santorin. They get the double onto Mash. You get subbed in from Academy, and boom, double kill already. Pre-10 minutes on Aphelios. Mash has got to feel great. Already upgraded Zerker Greaves on top of the BF sword.
Yeah, beneficiary, some really smart map play by the squad. I want to know what the comms were like, you know, who called for what. It's always interesting. You know, sometimes a player comes in, you never realize that a lot of the benefit is, oh no, they're actually so communicative. The jungler just knows exactly when he can gank, never has to waste any time. Sometimes that's just the, you know, the sort of ace in your back pocket that no one realized about. Trades still the top side. Broken Blade wants to chop him again. There you go, get some health back. He's winning that one. Solo finds not even really the slow, not getting a lot done there, but Santorin maybe walking top side. Will they keep fighting? Gets the decent amount of damage, kills a control ward. Broken Blade feels safe.
Yep, and Santorin is seen on the ward, so they know that there's extra presence here from Trundle, so Broken Blade just gonna hold this wave in front of his tower. He can actually deny a decent amount of that wave. FlyQuest were not able to push that wave all the way into the turret, so I believe looks like 2 of the melees go down before Solo gets right back up there, and the Volibear holding this CS lead over the Ornn. Spica and Bio looking to combine again. Bjergsen doesn't have ult on Fiddle, but he does have flash.
Alrighty, PoE. And just kite backwards. Sensed a little bit of danger and threw the soldiers and dashed back to him. Biofrost gets a melee or a cannon, but now, nope, no re-engage. They call it off. IgNar could have looked at Bjergsen, decided not to go for it. Boots 1 versus Moby, certainly going to run faster, but not a fight they really wanted to take. Solo just going to keep farming under the turret. He's lost a plate, won't lose the second one just yet. Clears the wave out, but it's going to sit there down about 15 CS.
And they've got a lot of presence, even though FlyQuest got you know, such a good play on bottom side here. Because TSM have this big Volibear, Broken Blade's got a lot of pressure against the Ornn, and Syndra is level 6, so even though Doublelift doesn't have the kills like Mash, Syndra at level 6 brings a lot.
Wow, burns the real flash over the wall, wants to find someone to kill. Santorin's right in melee range of Biofrost. They put down the turret, and here comes Crowstorm over the top. Oh, he just barely gets away from getting kicked, but he comes right back in. There's a pushback. PowerOfEvil very low, has a flash back over the wall. IgNar brings a stopwatch. Bjergsen stays alive, but when a kill comes through, Mash is on a killing spree. There to throw in the auto attacks and gets his 3rd kill of the game.
Big difference in the health bars afterwards, but nobody goes for the Rift Herald on the cleanup. 1-for-1 trade in the end, and we're going to have a revisit on that objective FlyQuest do get to push a mid lane first there for Mash 2. And guess what? Their kill got picked up by the Aphelios as well. So Aphelios is going to be a monster for them. Here's another look at IgNar. He is in. He flashes over. He smacks that ward.
Yep.
They're like, okay, well, time for TSM to engage then. They do get the kill on the Santorin when the kick does finish there. Spica takes it in and he flashes back over the wall, but Mash Me on the Aphelios just gets to mow them down. Biofrost will pay the price and give some more gold into the pockets. Looks like he's rushing for that Infinity Edge.
Yeah, pretty standard build here. Usually Infinity Edge into Hurricane second. You get just really absurd damage once that comes down, and he's well on his way to solid power spiking here. Doublelift going towards the pretty standard first Syndra item of a Luden's Echo. Won't be too terribly long till he's done. He's farming pretty well, actually. Highest CS in the game. Now tied with both mid laners. Oh, okay. Now tied 4-way as Mash clears out most of the wave, and then Bjergsen takes first place. But for a time, I was right. Doublelift had the most farm in the game. That's all that matters.
I remember a time when Feet was right. Oh, Bjergsen!
Oh, that is a lot of crowd control. Aftershocker, not good luck getting away from this one. Well, now it's Spica here. Misses the Q, hits a minion for that one. A silence and a slow comes down, but still Spica's at 400 HP. Got the rest of the squad, though, and they will stay alive. So good survival there for the TSM duo.
Remember, it is a tank Fiddlesticks. He
Yes.
has double rings into the makings of the Spirit Visage, so lots of health there. And then once the CC is used to get the pick onto you, you know as Fiddle that you don't have to panic because you can just channel your W, channel your drain, and regenerate a lot. So with just Spica there, they dissuade FlyQuest. Here is that attempt number 2 on the Rift Herald we were talking about, though.
Yep, still 2 minutes to go until the plates drop, so no problem. Spica can grab this one, no problem. Summon it and walk about a quarter of the way off the map before losing plate gold. And as the minions fall, FlyQuest now look towards the bottom side. Syndra is last hitting under the turret, so that means Santorin can start the Cloud Drake. Pulls it outside of the pit and Mash the to auto attack on a bunch of bonus attack damage. Pops the red Q, and this is going to fall down without any contest.
Yep, and Mash is going to be the focal point here. It's a 2-carry team, and the Azir has no flash, so PowerOfEvil has to play a bit more safe every time they get a sense of any sort of these mid roams. He really has to be, able to give up some of the minions, play a little bit further back. I actually love that skin. I haven't heard the siren before on the police Volibear.
Oh. I play a lot of like 5 pre-made normals with friends, and I'm never the top laner. I have heard so many people complain about, does this noise ever stop? The answer is no. It's on like all the time. Not everyone likes it, although as a spectator, I'm a fan.
Fair enough. As long as the camera's not always there, then it won't get too much. He is still pushing, by the way. Still has that around 20 CS lead for himself. A little bit more effort being put up to the top side for FlyQuest, though, as you got IgNar roaming, and they've spent 2 control wards worth of vision resources up on the top side as well to kind of help him out.
Yeah, Bjergsen feeling comfortable to knock down the minions. Doesn't get the cannon, but here's the Herald summon in plenty of time. Mid lane turret's going to be under a lot of pressure. IgNar is here to defend, but this is still going to be gold donated over. If Bjergsen's close by, he'll get half. Biofrost can do the same. And it's all going to go to the jungler. All goes over to Spica. Bjergsen could not quite step up that far, so 320 gold goes to the Lee Sin. Not a waste of gold by any means, but obviously you would have liked it on someone who's a bit more gold scaling than the Lee Sin jungle. The kickback, though, they might have found the kill in a Bjergsen, and indeed they will. Mash is on a rampage, and Biofrost is on his way back to the fountain as Santorin grabs his second kill of the game. And, you can summon a mid, a Herald in a mid. We can send our army down there and knock that turret down just as fast.
And the timing there, it's right as Mash is walking down the lane. Their Aphelios is here. This is the big carry of the team, and he's like, PowerOfEvil, I got your back. Go on in with Azir. It doesn't matter you don't have flash. He takes advantage of the TSM carries before they can get their own defensives back up. And really nice proactive play here from FlyQuest to capitalize. Now it's an extra one that went over to Mash. I mean, this is going to be the story of the game to track. Yeah. As we go further, there are so many things that an Aphelios is going to have to worry about. And FlyQuest will have to play around the flash timer of Mash, because you have to avoid a Nautilus stun setting up a Volibear dive, Fiddlesticks dive, and long-range Scatter the Weak from Syndra. So, there are so many things that can pierce through the back you know, of even a very beefy front line, that Mash is going to have to worry about being the big carry.
Yeah, and I want to point out, right, the gold is basically equal. TSM actually slightly ahead despite the 4-kill deficit. That is a giant farm lead topside, plus 30 for Broken Blade. 30 CSD at 15, very, very good. That is a high mark. Yes, it's matchup, sure, but still very good. And now, ooh, that hook almost landed on a PoE, but now it's the play right into the jungle. Biofrost, he's gonna burn the stopwatch. Bjergsen shows up, gets stunned. There's kill number 1, and here comes kill number 2. The damage was not there. The Crow Storm could never have been enough. FlyQuest get another 2 for 0, and they're ready to push mid.
Yeah, it looks like we'll have a rotation around through the jungle as well. They're trying to catch Doublelift there, and you see Leona and Trundle, but Doublelift backs right back off, and TSM are going to play defensively after losing that fight. I don't think there's too much that FlyQuest can actually get in the way of objectives. Definitely some good kills for themselves, though. Doublelift really cautious about going back up to this turret, and rightfully so. Teleport comes down, though. Looks like TSM want to fight him off.
Well, can Mash run away in time? A nice pillar's going to slow down Doublelift, but here comes Broken Blade. Shot a couple of times, but there's the fear, and that is absolutely the death. Doublelift gets 700 gold for the shutdown and is ready to get that next power spike.
That is so big. And Mash, even with double summoners, there's no way he's getting out of that one. Broken Blade just teleports in, runs him down with the extra speed, and TSM do strike back. So another turret goes down, and they open up some territory to work with just in time. 45 seconds left on this dragon. What a close game here. I think it's very good, by the way, that Mash actually saved his flash, knowing that he was going to die, because the dragon fight is coming up, and this is third Drake if FlyQuest can actually get it. So important for both teams in the setup for this one.
All right, 25 seconds till it's alive. Look at the gold yet again. 300 lead to TSM of bot lane. First turret going down. The shutdown to their Syndra, and you can see individual gold-wise, Doublelift actually back ahead over what those kills were because of those individual gains made. 10 seconds now on the Drake. Flash forced away from IgNar. They get the Scuttle Crabs. They have the vision. TSM can still pressure mid a little bit. PowerOfEvil and most of the squad still there to defend the wave. Mash waiting around, gets a bit of MR to make sure he's not going to get one shot quite so easily. So an early null magic mantle, but double daggers betray the push towards Azir. Much more likely than Wit's End in that one. It surprised me quite a lot if he built that one. But I guess it's possible.
Or
they're still going to be attacked.
Now available. They were just waiting a couple seconds. TSM gaining inside position on the dragon as well, but the Scuttle Crab is there, so they can't get inside the pit and actually start it without FlyQuest knowing, and now they've got everything available.
And once they see the Volibear in the mid lane, they know the front line is not as durable, and they can walk back into the river. Play for vision. Another control ward comes down. TSM wants to fight for this one. The Drake taking some damage, and TSM only really have Spica for vision. He's played as a ward before. Now the fight in the top side. Santorin gonna burn the ulti, gonna go for the play. They just shut down Biofrost, and Spica has to flash away, which means he's not gonna get back in. They killed the ward to deny the ward hop, and that's gonna be the Drake picked up, no problem. FlyQuest, 3 Drakes already, 18 minutes in. Mountain Soul is gonna be so incredibly impactful, but the Drake resets. They gotta have to wait a little bit longer. Still not in vision though. Not a problem. Spike comes through, grabs it all the same. Tied gold, but 3-0 in Drakes.
Dragon Hunter Santorin there knows where the dragon's running back to. Yeah, they do pick it up. That's the third one, setting up the Ocean Soul. Definitely important, but there's a little bit of a mistake on the coordination there from TSM as Biofrost just kind of walked in. And they have to be very careful because this experience lead for PowerOfEvil is definitely a big factor. In that fight, Bjergsen was level 10, Doublelift was also level 10, so they didn't have their rank 2 ultimates, which was pretty big. Now he has ticked to level 11. That was after the fight took place, and they'll feel a lot more confidence because you gain so much extra power with those level 2 ultimates for both champions.
We'll see when the next fight comes around. Baron's going to be alive in just a minute's time, and we know that the potential Mountain Soul is going to be a huge problem for TSM in about 4 minutes' time. Doublelift going to get some time in the top lane turret. Can't quite knock it down, has to respect IgNar's potential engage. Mash will knock down the wave before the turret itself falls, so there is still a bag of gold up there that is one auto attack away from being claimed. Doublelift claiming a lot of the side lane farm. I feel like Syndra's not quite that late game carry that, you know, a Hail of Blades Kaisa is, so maybe not quite the same beneficiary as the game he played yesterday, though might still see him pop off, one-shot somebody in a team fight. Just kind of have to see what his target selection ends up being. CC now on the top side is IgNar. He's going to be slowed down quite a lot. A stun, that could be a kill. That could be Mash falling. He's going to be stunned up, has to flash away. Will barely stay alive. The follow through going to be not quite there, but he has to run away from this lane.
Yep, and that's double summoners off the Aphelios before the objective spawns. Rift Herald now on the map here for TSM, and it should be theirs for the taking because of the chunk Doublelift got on Mash. That was a nice scatter of the week. He was able to hit and get both of those down. Broken Blade pretty deep here.
Decent CC from Solo, but the slow from Broken Blade is going to prevent them from doing much more. Gets a chomp and just walks right back in. Just says, no, I'm not going to go for the Q stun. I'll just keep the move speed now. Re-engage though. Solo gonna find Spica. He is flashless on the Lee Sin. Solo finds the knockup now as well. Bjergsen's got to be careful. Has to flash the wall to stay alive. Spica ward hops to safety himself after kicking away an opposing member. Those are some important cooldowns missing for a short time, and crucially, Flash will not be up for Bjergsen for the soul fight.
All right, Baron arrived on the map too, chased away the Rift Herald. As Doublelift was in base, TSM did not want to take that fight. So a necessary evasive flash there from Bjergsen. But now Doublelift does have the 2 completed items, you know, so on top of the burst damage from the Ludens, he has the safety with the Zhonya's Hourglass. And with Bjergsen also on the 2 item power spike, bringing the Frozen Heart to the table. If Bjergsen just ults and tries to run straight to the middle of FlyQuest, it has a lot of value if he can get into range of those carries. The big thing for FlyQuest is their very, very beefy front line with a lot of the hard engage coming from the Leona Ornn combo.
I also find it interesting how the teams have been kind of allocating their farm. Generally speaking, high-level play, last hitting minions after 10 minutes of the game is not a question of your mechanics, but a question of where you're allowed to be on the map and the team coordination. Doublelift and Broken Blade have been getting the lion's share of TSM's farm, and Bjergsen is just kind of plugging the gaps. He'll take what he can, but you know, he's not the one getting everything. On the FlyQuest side, PowerOfEvil is the highest farmer in the game, and Mash, comparatively, has not been getting the same income. He is getting farther and farther behind Doublelift in gold, and took a side step to buy Quicksilver Sash. Now a fight towards Bjergsen, the guy getting the junk farm. Not quite as high level as maybe he might be, but it's a 3v1. He's not getting away from that one. Kill goes over to Santorin pretty comfortably, but now a dive into the bot side. Into the mid lane, rather, as PowerOfEvil is trying to kite away, but doesn't have the ability to get out of this one. Shutdown comes in. Here comes the knockup onto 2. As the stopwatch comes over, Mash has to kite away from Spica, find some auto attacks. Doublelift, does he feel safe? Does he have anywhere to go is the question. As IgNar comes in, finds a bit of a stun, looks for the re-engage. Broken Blade can't quite get the last auto attack, and Mash is here to auto. Spica kicks him, cannot quite get the kill. Santorin's gonna keep firing out, and they will find that shutdown. 3 dead on TSM, 2 dead on FlyQuest, and Biofrost is trying to run, but is he gonna get away? He's only got the Merc Treads knocked into the air. 4 kills to 2, and FlyQuest win a team fight in their own jungle.
What a scrap, Freak, into the FlyQuest territory. FlyQuest do get the pick onto Bjergsen, and TSM try and chase PowerOfEvil, trading mid laner for mid laner, but they chase PowerOfEvil all the way deep into the FlyQuest jungle. Let's take another look at the setup here. Just a nice move there with Fog of War and Teleport being channeled, so they completely pick off Bjergsen. He's all left alone. No way he can get out. But on the right side of your screen, you see the TSM Juggernaut just jumping through the towers here. They go all the way into FlyQuest jungle, and then they're like, okay, how do we get out of this one? Doublelift does have Zhonya's for the Ornn ultimate, so he doesn't get stunned up there. IgNar flashes over to try and follow up stun on Doublelift, but he flashes away, and then IgNar is able to get the chain here. This is the close part. Mashme goes straight in on the Aphelios to finish the kill, and almost got taken down by Spica back into a live fight.
Already, it's going to be PowerOfEvil gone, which is super important for TSM. Bjergsen, though, terribly low. It will be a trade of mid laners, but crucially, Doublelift, the man with the farm, is still alive. Broken Blade, terribly low, but has TP to rejoin after a recall. TSM can really not bleed this Drake out, and honestly, the FlyQuest health bars are lower. Spica, the only man injured. Broken Blade can TP back in. Does FlyQuest have a chance to fight this one? They've got a Honey Fruit right there for IgNar. He can take it. Finally does so, but the Drake's only at 4,800 health. Broken Blade winning the wings. Mash can auto him once, but the damage output not going to be that great. Here comes the re-engage. Nice knockup. A dive to the back line. They're going to chase down Mash if they can do so, but it's a kill onto Spica. The knockup back on the Volibear. Broken Blade can't get this one out, and Doublelift unable to answer these kills Santorin is on the chase. Remember when we were teammates, buddy? It's time for me to knock you down. Next pillar comes up soon. You have to believe. There it is. The Zhonya's will not save his life. The Syndra will fall. And Mountain Soul will go over to FlyQuest.
FlyQuest, what a huge fight for them. TSM can't get past the beefy front line to Mash. Santorin, IgNar, and Solo peeling for him at all costs. You get plenty of usage and value out of that Quicksilver as well. Mash is able to kite backwards, and FlyQuest take the victory. What a big moment for them. Mountain Soul going to be even more difficult now for TSM to get through that front line. It becomes kind of a game of finding one of those surprise picks and really having to work through vision to make use of the crowd control abilities that we talked about for TSM, looking for the Nautilus, Syndra, and Fiddlesticks stuns to pick people from FlyQuest off, because now that they've got Mountain Soul shields on top of these super tanks, not to mention the extra resistances, it'll be hard to go front to back. All right, here's another
marksman. Gonna feel good in these fights.
So they did get a flank from Broken Blade, but he actually runs in and then towards the two tanks, and Santorin gets this done. Then they all kite backwards. Volibear ultimate and Nautilus ultimate onto Mash, but he's able to kite Spica backwards, and they kill him as he's coming through. And Doublelift unable to follow up on any sort of damage there because they actually can't get the HP advantage, and Biofrost has to run for his life.
Nice set by Doublelift to dodge the IgNar's E, but just obviously not enough as Trundle's in melee range, ready for the pillar right afterwards. Mountain Soul obviously very impactful here. Gonna be nice to have that big shield. I think it's really, really good against kind of low damage compositions, because if you don't one-shot them, they're just not dead anymore, and you know, the team fight looks really good from there. Syndra is the only, I would say, reliable, consistent damage since Broken Blade doesn't have much armor yet. He's actually dying to the Aphelios pretty quickly, as we saw in that last fight, where I thought TSM was going to look pretty good, but Broken Blade really couldn't get a whole lot done. Mash has been able to kite quite nicely, now has flash for round 2. Santorin able to easily walk away after a pillar. Bjergsen to come into mid, but PowerOfEvil gets a kill up in that top lane. He's got a 2-level lead over Bjergsen, got the highest farm in the game, and he can join whenever he wants.
Yep, FlyQuest scales so incredibly well. That's why it was such a big moment for them to get this Mountain Soul 27 minutes into the game. Azir and Aphelios, two of the best scaling backline threats. PowerOfEvil, though, he's going straight through the base, trying to get his teleport off, getting the fear.
Yep, he's going down for that one. He can ult, it's not gonna matter. Kill credit goes to the Doublelift Syndra, level 14. 2 kills on the board. Now a re-engage as Spica sees IgNar and co. Broken Blade's here. I'm not sure if FlyQuest win this one. It's going to be an eventual 4v5. Ornn comes out. He should really probably disengage this one. Knock up onto 2. It's time to run away. IgNar has to burn Flash to live.
Definitely a mistake from FlyQuest as PowerOfEvil overextending bottom side. You know, a death and a teleport open up a comeback possibility here for TSM. When FlyQuest have such a good 5-on-5 with the beefy front line and 2 hyper carries for the end game, they've actually given TSM a pretty big window here on Baron. Let's see if they can force.
They're going to attempt. PowerOfEvil dead for 5 more seconds, cannot TP in. TSM has about 20 seconds to play with right now to get the Baron done or find the team fight. There's a quick turret over the wall, gonna get a couple of shots in, but now it's able to kill the Baron, so it's even lowering the timer that TSM need. Here comes the engage, Crows from over the wall, gonna find a couple of fears. Big dunk in the back line, Santorin's already gone. A kickback's gonna find a knock up on a Mash now as well, who has to kite backwards, but he's got autos on a Bjergsen. Nice fear comes in, QS has to get out, forces the flash away. 2 more autos might kill him, he's so tanky though. Leona comes in, that's gonna find Biofrost. Doublelift gonna find the ulti. Mash though has the MR to live, and Doublelift gets knocked down by Solo's re-engage. And now TSM are still forced to run. Next CC almost comes in, but Biofrost sidesteps it. Turret falls, flashes away. They will keep the rest of TSM alive. It's a 4v4, all things considered. Jungler dead for FlyQuest could make Baron hard, but they're looking for it now.
And the FlyQuest fans can finally exhale. The opening that PowerOfEvil gave them, dying inside the base, has now closed. He's back out there. The Azir arrived and they chased them off the Baron. Extra kills going over to FlyQuest, plus the Baron reward, means that they can actually return to finish that job on the inhibitor turrets, and they should do so when they group up behind their tanks in strength of numbers for them, because it becomes very difficult for TSM to find victory if they've got their level 16, almost triple item Azir and 8 kill Aphelios safely behind their tanks.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Mash went early QSS this game. He's kiting the team fights incredibly well. He's only died a single time, and that was one where he's like, all right, yeah, you got me, you burn TP, I won't burn summoners. Every team fight, he has known his limits. He dove into the back line and fought Doublelift when they were fighting the top jungle. Otherwise, he's kited the Volibear, he's kited the Syndra, he survived the ultis. Well done to him so far. Here comes the re-engage. Double root gonna land. Ornn over the top. These should be pretty easy to kill. A nice kickback buys some time, but Ornn is there for the knock-up, and there's 2 more kills picked up. This is not looking good for TSM. Broken Blade left alone, cannot flash out, but he can E over the wall, or I should say ult over the wall. PowerOfEvil, though, can E over the wall and eats him for a couple of, a third kill of the fight. Now IgNar wants back in, looking for Doublelift. Can he find this opening? He's feared. He's taking some damage, but he's very tanky on Leona. Pops the stun. That should be an easy kill on a Bjergsen. Burns his Zonia's Hourglass, but does not have flash get away. So the auto's going to come through. He's going to ult to get farther back, but it's not going to matter. Doublelift's going to fall. Game over from a couple of those right there. FlyQuest know they have TSM right where they want them. Aced with a Elder Dragon coming up and a base right in front of their eyes.
Yep, they can actually split objectives right now because all that's necessary to kill an Elder Dragon is 1 Aphelios. Everybody else with Baron buff pushing up waves. You see, FlyQuest actually getting 3 objectives at once as they push mid, bottom, and going for Dragon. Spica on a mission here. He's got to put a stop to this, but he's been scouted out.
Yeah, can I roll for killing the dragon? You can certainly try. Can't get this one. This is going to be Elder Dragon going down. No problem at all. He's on the other side of the map now. He's like, I'm going to keep running in case they're chasing. There's the sign that the whole squad took that one down. Elder Dragon and a 10,000 gold lead to the remainders of a Baron buff. FlyQuest are winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, successful outscale here. FlyQuest, they know they can play it slow. Santorin does find them with the pillar. They use the blue trinket to make sure they're not walking into the trap. Once they see just 2, they can move up. Everybody from the team is there, solo in front of Mash, setting up the Aphelios, and they're able to chase down these kills on TSM. That was what TSM, had to do, though, is find some sort of, vision play, some sort of surprise gank there. Then IgNar, trying to cut them off, is able to stun them for long enough for the rest of the squad to arrive. And as you know, in the aftermath, they also got the Elder Dragon. So on top of their Dragon Soul, they will have the always fun to watch Elder Dragon Execution.
And now the inhibitor has been cracked open, and it itself will fall as the turret dropped a second ago. FlyQuest looking really good here in this one. TSM only ever got 3 turrets in this game. It's 23-8 in kills, and the gold lead still stays at 10,000 as more turrets fall, and the top side is now opened up for a bit more as well. Still a minute on the Elder Dragon. There is no team fight TSM could take that they would win with remotely equal numbers. The slows on a Broken Blade trying to chase that one down. A very tanky Volibear, obviously. And Santorin will let him walk back to his side of the base, but the waves are still coming in. Decent wave clear for Doublelift, not quite knocked up by Solo, but the ulti comes across, nearly finding the kill, and here comes the rest of it. Here comes the hard engage. Biofrost about to be executed down. He goes for the first one. Solo on the backside finds the second. Broken Blade forced to run away. 3 kills, and there is no defense left for TSM. 4 comes across. There's the flash into the fountain. A double kill at the end. Mash ends 11, 1, and 11. That is a beautiful play here out of FlyQuest and their new starting bot laner. Beautiful game taking down TSM.
Yeah, I mean, that feels really good to sub into the LCS in your first game. You get those 2 early kills on Aphelios with a team comp that has a super beefy frontline for you. You mentioned he went for QSS really early, just straight after the Infinity Edge, to try and deny some of those picks on him because he knows there's so much focus on him, big target on his back.
And Wild Turtle has something to answer for because his replacement is performing beautifully. The words used when he first replaced Chaos on TSM 7.5 years ago. I switched one word. That was D-Man's call. The man got a pentakill on Caitlyn. But I
So
don't
they're-
know what it's going to look like for him in the future, because right now it's beautiful on the one side.
They've said that they're sharing time. So
Sure, I
replacement is a
understand.
little strong, but I understand what you're going for.
I'm going for the historic quote. I'm a little, thinking back to the history of
Pentakill!
LoL esports. Yeah, beautiful stuff has been happening. But I gotta say, I was tracking MASH throughout that game. I really wanted to try to form an opinion on how this game looked. The first 15 minutes was like, yeah, you're a pro level AD carry. You're last hitting minions. You're showing up to team fights. I'm not seeing anything spectacular, but hey, you're clearly doing the job. I don't have complaints, just nothing to like celebrate. And then the team fights happened, and I had things to celebrate. He dove in and found important kills. He knew his limits, when to kite back. I, in retrospect, really did like QSS second to make sure he could survive from Crowstorm. Honestly, check plus to A plus everywhere down the line. Great game out of MASH. Big fan of how he played it. Yes, he had a front line. Yes, he was on the winning team, but he was part of the reason why it was the winning team. A big fan of how he played that game out.
All right, yeah, FlyQuest going to be really happy with that victory. And once again, this is one of the teams that, even though they were in the finals last split, I still feel like a lot of people had been underestimating them. And they really have come together with a lot of that team play, as they displayed here, and cohesive strategy.
Yeah, definitely agree. On the other side, I want to do the Doublelift watch, because they played almost the exact same composition as they did yesterday. The difference being that instead of a farming Kai'Sa, it was a farming Syndra in the bot lane. And that champion just does not, I think, receive the same benefits from 300 CS at 28 minutes that Doublelift was kind of on course for here in this one. He was ahead in gold on his lane opponent, and a second item Zhonya's meant he wasn't a very big threat. When you've got a tank in the mid lane and a bruiser topside who's, he's not doing Fiora and Riven things where you're 1v5ing fights, Doublelift needed to be damaged, and that damage did not come out. It didn't feel like he hit the buttons fine, but stylistically, I did not like the Syndra fit for how this TSM comp worked out. I think the team fights would have looked different on a Kai'Sa or his own Aphelios or whatever else could have been possible for him. That said, well played to FlyQuest, well-deserved win, and we'll see more of them tomorrow as TSM ends 2-2 in this week. But after the break, we will hear from Riv as he brings us the Verizon post-game interview with the FlyQuest bot laner. Stay tuned.
Dreams aren't achieved overnight. They take passion, dedication. And even then, there are no guarantees. But for the LCS, that's the power of dreams. It means you never give up. It means you always play again. Honda, proud automotive partner of the LCS.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Verizon post-game interview here for Week 2 LCS. I am joined by Mash after his victorious victory, if you will, over TSM. And what a game at that, dude. You have to be feeling pretty damn good after that game.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling good. It's my, I guess, debut back in. It's been like 2.5 years. A lot of people doubted me. It's like Mash compared to the name of like Turtle. So it's like I have to perform, I feel like, or people are like, oh, this, subbing's gonna suck, or like, Mash sucks. So it feels pretty good.
Not gonna lie, I'm missing the leather jacket and the glasses, but I can deal with this. The victories are still good enough to keep coming. So for yourself, you're in the bot lane now. You're going up against Doublelift. You see him pick Syndra. Do you feel like this lane is yours right away with all the things that have been kind of being said and memed and what Doublelift says about Syndra? What were you thinking going into the game?
Coming into the game, I was down to play both sides of the matchup, actually. So as soon as we got the Aphelios, I knew we were going to get more out of the draft, even though I was down to play the Syndra. So credit to the coaches for, the draft.
Heck yeah, absolutely. All right. So you had a great game with the team and the bot side. Solo was kind of getting pushed around top, but with those changes, it seemed okay even. Where's the communication coming from? Who are the voices now, and is it changing throughout the game?
The voices, I would say, still the same. Everyone knows that we play around PoE a lot, but since I've came to the team, I guess I add my own, way of playing when I'm ahead, or like, if I fall behind, I say it's okay. So overall, the team is just still the same. It's more of me integrating myself into the team.
Awesome. And I got one final question for you. As you still have a game this week, it's Dignitas tomorrow. What are you guys going to do to make sure that's a 2-0?
Just try to do the same thing, have a good draft, play well, and, look for the dub.
Easy. A man, a few words, but they all have huge impact, just like the Aphelios play. Congratulations, Mash, on the victory. Looking good on the FlyQuest squad to start out the summer split. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we are going to be chatting with Week 1's MasterCard Player of the Week. Don't go anywhere.
The wall just in the right spot, and by the way, Santorin right behind him. Second stun comes out. Look at the counter gank. It's beautiful. There's a pushback. PowerOfEvil very low, has a flashback over the wall. IgNar brings a stopwatch. Bjergsen stays alive, but when a kill comes through, Mash is on a killing spree. Biofrost, he's gonna burn the stopwatch. Bjergsen shows up, gets stunned. There's kill number 1, and here comes kill number 2. Spica kicks him, cannot quite get the kill. Santorin's gonna keep firing out, and they will find that shutdown. There is no defense left for TSM. 4 comes across. There's the flash into the fountain. A double kill at the end. Mash ends 11, 1, and 11.
Welcome to Assist of the Day, presented by State Farm. So you may have thought Ezreal and Yuumi were annoying. Well, Evil Geniuses one-ups that with Jizuke and Zeyzal chasing down 100 Thieves with Corki and Yuumi. Jizuke Valkyried forward fearlessly and laid waste to Cody's Sun and Stunt with a single big shot from his rocket arsenal. EG would continue to win fights like this and move on to win their first game of the summer split.
And we've upgraded her with a sonic shield.
Impressive.
There is one more thing.
Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. With the Drive Safe and Save app, you'll save up to 30% for being a safe driver. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.